Well, hi, folks. Welcome to another edition of the Too Old for Bull show. I'm your host, Johnny. Today I'm sharing 3 stories I wrote by accident. I'm not a trained writer, I'm just a guy who's lived a long time, seen a lot, and decided to put some of it down on paper. In a previous episode, I mentioned that I write stories and screenplays in my spare time. You could say that I got into writing by accident. Many years ago, after reminiscing about my business and motorcycling careers, I wrote a few paragraphs about a somewhat humorous incident that occurred. It was about being judged by your appearance. These paragraphs evolved into a short story entitled It's a Harley Son. That was so much fun that, being a student of the Old West, I then decided to write a Western, and the Western was entitled The Last Bullet. After that, I wrote a story entitled The Fourth Quarter and a story entitled Henry and the Gold Digger. I've also written screenplays that are sequels to 2 Western movies. Today, I'd like to share some of these stories with you. It's a Harley Son relates my experiences as the owner of manufacturing companies and a Harley rider. Now, most of what is written happened exactly as it was written, with the exception of the Kevin character and his son. They are both pure fiction. Now, the fourth quarter tells a story of a man who, after an evening out with his friends, realizes that he is playing the game of life in the fourth quarter. He starts to really think about what happens when the final whistle blows and the game of life ends. Follow him as he deals with his own doubts and he is forced to face his own mortality. I was prompted to write this story after an evening out with 3 of my best friends. With all of us being in our mid-70s at the time, I ended up making a comment that we are all playing the game of life in the fourth quarter. One of my friends made a comment, maybe we're in overtime. That really put the hook in me. Now, living in a 55 plus community gave me the idea to write Henry and the Gold Digger. This is the story of a widower in his 70s and how he deals with a professional gold digger and her accomplice as they try to fleece him out of his money. See how they get justice in the end and how Henry finds romance with an unexpected and unlikely person. Here's the link to a website where you can view these stories. Now, although I've written thousands of business letters and documents through the years, I'm strictly an amateur with no formal training in writing stories or doing graphics. Now, will I ever be a best-selling author? Hell no. But I have fun and I enjoy writing. And I do want to mention that I had artificial intelligence take a look at my stories, and artificial intelligence had some pretty good suggestions. But I've decided to keep my own words. Now, the same goes for today's script, except for the opening line, which goes like this. And these are artificial intelligence's words. Today I'm sharing 3 stories I wrote by accident. I'm not a trained writer, I'm just a guy who's lived a long time, seen a lot, and decided to put some of it on paper. Now, that was a much better opening line than I had. Well, that's all I have for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and please visit the Too Old for Bull website. After this video, there will be a link to the Too Old for Bull website where you can view my other videos. There's also a page where you can leave your comments. I really like to hear your comments on my videos and my stories. Now, I never will know who the sender is. Your comments are strictly anonymous, so please don't be bashful. We'll see you on down the trail.